Cable had a wild ride today. Let's look at some short-term price action patterns on the chart. Very good evening to you traders. This is Mark. Welcome to your daily trading video. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. Before we do, we've got Apple earnings coming out right now. Or they're expected very, very soon. So if they come out while we're talking, then we'll flick over, and for a bit of fun, maybe we'll have a look and see if we can watch some price action just pure on the chart. Maybe pick out a few turning points on there. I'm not trading this, done for the day, but if we do manage to catch some for fun, then that'll be good. Anyway, let's look at pound US dollar. Pound US dollar backdrop, we all know, heavy downtrend, has been since Brexit, flagged at lows, pushed another leg lower not too long ago, had that little flash crash, didn't we? It took us over to 119, and all sorts of articles coming out where people were caught in that. And the general thesis has always been the downtrend's still intact, let's sell rallies. We haven't really had many rallies since we had that one-day pop. But we had a bit of a flush lower today. People saying various bits and pieces over the news wires, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's just trade what's given to us. So the two levels that I've got, or the key levels that I've got, are obviously, I say obviously, but it may not be obviously, but the key levels are from the prior few weeks. We've got this sort of multiple low here at 120, 130, 120, 140, and this little tiny tail low just under that 121 key level area, which is kind of interesting, but that's sort of less of a low. I think these are more important here. So now watching today, and it's rolling over, and it's getting pretty heavy actually, and it's rolling, and then it breaks through the level. Now this is a pattern that repeats itself time and time again, and it is just my go-to pattern. Whatever market you're in, we've had a load of them in the DAX probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Some of them on the yen as well. So the downside, the yen's changed its character slightly at the moment, US dollar yen that is, and now we're getting a couple of them in the pound. And that is the case of you've got the support level, the price breaks through, the price holds below the support, and then you get a subsequent, normally get a little flurry that tries to push up. The shallower that is, the better, and then you get a subsequent roll. Okay, that is not taking the meat of the move, right? You're not involved in any of that. You're leaving that for somebody else, or using a different strategy to get involved in that. This is just a high probability short-term scalping trade that happens very frequently across all markets. Let's look at it on the time frame that it deserves, which is a 1 minute. In fact, you can even go tighter than that, but I'm going to put it on a 1 minute just to show what's going on. Here's the support that we drew in. We're prepared for this level. The price, it's been in there for a while. As the price is rolling over to it, hopefully you've got an alert set or something when it's coming near to it, because if you're trading this type of strategy, you don't want to be scrabbling for it when it's already through it. You need to be prepared, and if it doesn't break and it carries on up, that's fine. If it does break, look at this price action you're looking for. This is what we're looking for. The hold below the support. This is a little bit longer than I'd like. This is quite a long time to hold below. But look at the time frame. We're opening up at the US stock market open, we're trading around that, the US stock market open, and it's still not finding a bid. It's holding below. It has a little attempt to push up, and that's like a range break fake type trade that pushes up, fails, then rolls back over. And yes, you know what, it's not a mammoth trade, but look at that, it rolls over. There's opportunities to come out onto here, but even if you had a very strict strategy to it, and you said, you know what, I'm shorting here, my stop's above here, and you were very methodical with it, and you were looking for the break of the next key support level, and if that was like your type of trade, then even that worked. But for a little scalp trade, which is what I'm talking about here, the high probability scalp trade working very well. And always got to look out for those kind of things. The way to look out for them is just to put your levels on, whatever you're trading, all your markets, set your alerts or have them up on your screens, and then when approaching that level, I'm looking for that kind of pattern. Okay, let's have a quick look at Apple. Let's see. I believe something. So I can see some flicking around over on my other screen here. Okay, we're up a little bit. Let's move on to 1 minute. We're on 1 minute. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got so far. Shall we see if there's anything going on? We've spiked up from 118.25, and we're just over this 120 level, but it's just gone flat. Completely quiet. I don't think I've got the full. There we go. Okay, so let's kick back into life. Now, let's see now. What would you like to see and what wouldn't you like to see? If you were a bull and you were thinking, great, you would want to see this now flying above the high, and that would be the expected price action from that. Push up, pull back, push up. Actually, the price stops when I get my drawing pen out, so I'll be careful with that. If we talk about the retracement trade, remember we talked about this for anything. We're going to be shorting it if we start breaking below the 50% more. So you're almost in that zone now. You're probably looking now as your short level now. So you'd be short now, and your stop is going to be above that 19. Your target's going to be the low. I'm rushing it because it's real time, but I've talked about this kind of pattern before, and it was on, I'm trying to remember, on the fly. It was on one of the currency pairs. Go back a couple of videos ago and you see, I think it was on the ECB, the euro had the same kind of spike. When you get a nothing reaction, this is really a nothing reaction for Apple, it's a few percent, it's not a 10% move. You're looking for that. I'll get the drawing pen out quick. Well, I won't do that because we'll stop. And you're looking for a target here of probably, this is only a scalp trade. You're going to be bidding in front of that 118. Or if you're brave, you're probably going to be looking to come out at the 117.50 for a little. Maybe get some stops. If we take out that 118 level, we probably get some stops. You can stagger some bids coming into that. But anyway, the theory of this is, as previous videos, when you take out that 50% retracement trade, you take a short as you break under sort of the halfway point of that. So, this sort of 119.50 a little bit earlier when you start to see the momentum dwindle. So this is now when you're coming out of your trade. You tag that 118, you take your position out, and then, like I say, if you fancy a trailer to come under the 117.50, fine. But the thesis of this trade is it's just looking for liquidity either side. So for something like this, you're going to look to definitely take the most of the meat out on that move. It is just a pure, hey, look, we're going higher, guys. Oh, no, we're not. We're going lower, and you're taking a scalp on that. So it's the same pattern again when nothing really happens. When there's a nothing but a news, whether it's on a central bank, that's what we're talking about in the last few videos, or whether it's on a stock, it's exactly the same strategy, and that's definitely your final all out. Unless, of course, you've got a longer term thesis and you think, you know what, hey, I'll hold some, I've got some in the back, cushion in the bank, and that's obviously trade management then comes up to own personal preference. But just purely from a tape perspective and purely from a what the strategy is all about set up, that's what that trade is all about. If you want to use it as a leg in for a longer trade, then absolutely fine. So anyway, guys, hope you had a great trading day today. Watch this with Apple. This could be a little bit spicy if it really starts to roll over later. Maybe we'll have some opportunity in this tomorrow. Take care.